All right, folks, and welcome to this live severe weather coverage. I'm Joshua Weisel. We are tracking a potential tornado that is moving into the Jacksboro area here very shortly. Let's go to our new radar product, and we're watching this very carefully. If you are in Jacksboro, you need to be in shelter immediately. Potential is there that there could be a tornado moving into downtown Jacksboro. And what you're looking at here, this is our rotation product. And when you start to see those reds turning to green and turning into yellow, that's indicating strong rotation. Now, we're not quite in the yellow yet, but I do think that there could be a possible developing tornado. This is an exclusive product that you're going to see nowhere else here in North Texas. This is our this is our tornado detector. And we're getting a little bit concerned because we're starting to see a little bit of a signature just to the west of Jacksboro. And if you're in Jacksboro, you need to be in shelter now. And we are starting to see just a little bit, potentially, of the tornado detector just to the west of Jacksboro. Again, that is an exclusive tool that you're not going to see anywhere else except here with Weather 225. So I want to go back to another product here real quick. We're going to go to this radar source, and we're going to put just a quick time of arrival here with this. We'll put a manual tracking on it. And the tornado was located just to the southwest of Jacksboro. This is moving at about 28 miles an hour. So we'll put it here. It'll be in Jacksboro roughly in 5 minutes. So if you're in Jacksboro, the tornado could be barreling down on you right now. So if you are in that area, you need to be seeking shelter right now. And this is the area in question actually, I want to do that again. Right in here. Big area of rotation, but it's most likely just to the southwest of Jacksboro. So this is what we've got going on here with this. Let's take a look quickly with our wind shear product here. This is the radar telling us where the strongest rotation could be located. And it's not quite that bright with the signature, but I do think that we are seeing, let's see, a little bright signature right over Jacksboro. So if it's not a tornado over Jacksboro right now, it could very easily become tornadic and potentially put a tornado down here in the next little bit. This is right now not a confirmed tornado, but it's something we need to be watching very carefully, especially because our exclusive tornado detector, again, that you're not going to see anywhere else, we're seeing just a little signature here. Could be a spin up occurring with this. Let's go back to the velocity product. Let's actually do a 3D scan of this real quick. And I'm going to see if I can boot this up. It's not going to show it. We're looking at a little... we're going to be looking at a scan here real quick. Behind the scenes, we are slicing the storm into 3D mode and trying to see if we can get a better detection for this. Let's go back to our rotation tracker here. And as you can see, just to the west of downtown Jacksboro. So if you're in Jacksboro, you need to be sheltering right now just because this could be potentially a developing tornado moving into the city of Jacksboro. We do have some strong rotation with it. Not confirmed, but this is something you need to be taking very seriously just because this could be a developing tornado. If you watched our live update earlier, we were some of the only ones here in North Texas talking about this risk and keeping our rain chances higher than 20%. We were calling for this much earlier, so if you're tuning in, we had that on the live update, and we're bringing to you some exclusive tools to show you this tornado risk here in North Texas. But again, if you're in Jacksboro, please seek shelter immediately. There is a potential tornado moving into that area very shortly, at least a developing tornado. Let's go to our hail core tracker. In addition to that, Jacksboro could be seeing potentially quarter-sized hail. I want to go back to see if we can see with this product. This is another exclusive product. Fortunately, we're not seeing anything with that yet. This product is our EF scanner, and this is where the computer's putting winds kind of in the categories for EF level winds. So the enhanced Fujita scale, this is showing us where winds for each category would be located. Fortunately, at the moment, we're not seeing anything, but again, that doesn't mean that there's not anything occurring. We're also noticing that our tornado detection tool is showing just a little signature. Now, this could be nothing, It's not the biggest tornado, or it's not the biggest scan that we've seen here, or detection with it, but there might be. Okay, so that new scan just came in. The tornado may have just passed Jacksboro. We're getting a new scan here, and I do think that this is approaching close to the ground. We're starting to get the green approaching yellow here with this tool. Let's go to our base velocity and just see what's going on here. We're going to get a new scan here in 2 seconds. And this may be to the northeast of Jacksboro. It's starting to download. We'll get to put this side by side. And we'll be watching that very carefully. That's a curious signature. I think that might be too far ahead of it, just looking at it. So we're going to be watching that carefully. Still, signature just to the west of Jacksboro. So if you're in Jacksboro, you need to be sheltering now. Here's a look at that, at the reflectivity with this. And as you can see, there's a little mouth feature to it. We've got inflow feeding into it. This is a very concerning storm. It just has that supercell look to it. So this one we're going to be having to watch for the next little bit, especially as this is over Jacksboro. And this is some pretty strong rotation. Not to downplay this. So if you're in Jacksboro, you need to be in shelter right now. And I think our tornado detection tool is having problems here. Okay, new tornado warning, and this is for our storm to the north. So if you were watching our live stream earlier, folks, we went live and said we thought that this was going to be pretty much the more concerning scenario, and that we were going to have storms in this area. So if you're tuning into that live update earlier, we mentioned that these storms were going to be severe with all types. If you followed us on our Twitter, we mentioned that there as well. And right now we're playing that in. We're playing that out. We have 2 very concerning supercells. The models were showing all that activity that was supposed to be in Oklahoma was going to be drawn further to the south. And we mentioned that there was an area that stabilized the atmosphere in Oklahoma. But guess where all that unstable air was coming from? It was coming from North Texas as it was surging to the north. So we have quite a bit of energy here in North Texas. And we're probably not done with this. Let's see when that warning is until... Okay, so that one is in effect until 7:45. So we're gonna send out an alert to the app real quick. And like we said earlier, we were calling this out much earlier. We saw that the models were pulling everything further to the south, and we do have a tornado watch in effect for Montague County, but we don't have one for Jack County. So there's storms occurring outside of it. We were watching these storms earlier, and now it looks like some of these are becoming tornadic. That one in Bowie is very concerning. Not to overhype this and not to over dramatize the situation. That is a very classic supercell. As you can see, it's got the boot feature to it, and especially this far away from the radar. That one is very concerning, and I think we need to watch both of these very carefully, just because these are both, and if I zoom out, they're kind of in their own environment. Especially the one in Montague County, because there's a lot of energy. We're approaching, I think, it was roughly about 5,000 Cape. I'm going to actually turn that on and see where exactly we're sitting Cape-wise here in North Texas. In fact, I'll show you here real quick with this radar presentation. We'll go to this one, and we'll see if we can boot that Cape up. And, yeah, we are sitting at almost 4,000 Cape here to the north. So these storms have a lot of energy to be feeding off of, and like I said, these are not going to go anywhere anytime soon. These are very concerning, especially this one to the north. And if you're in Bowie, you need to be in shelter right now. That could be a tornado trying to occur. So we're going to be bouncing back and forth between these two. We're going to actually post real quick that tornado warning to the app, just so anyone who's watching can tune in. And I believe that this warning for Montague County, that one goes in effect until 7:45. So you need to be in shelter immediately if you are in Bowie, because this is a very concerning storm. And like I said, I'm not trying to over dramatize this or make viewers afraid. These are very nasty supercells. And you don't really see these kind of signatures all too often. So this is something we need to be watching very carefully. Like I said earlier, the models were saying that everything that was supposed to be in Oklahoma was going to be further to the south. And they've been terrible lately, but right now they're doing a fairly good job with what they were depicting. We need to go to, oh boy, so we have two. We have two now. Two very strong rotation signatures kind of coming into play. Let's go back to our exclusive rotation tracker here, and we need to be watching this very carefully. Folks, if you're in Fruitland, you need to be in shelter. Sunset, you need to be in shelter. Jacksboro, you need to be in shelter. There's two strong rotation areas, and these are very concerning supercells, folks, because there's nothing ahead of these to basically take the energy from these. So these are going to be kind of around for a while. And so we need to be watching these very, very carefully. If you're in either area, you need to be in shelter immediately, just because these are very impressive signatures. And for anyone who's wondering what cities, we have two tornado warnings. This one is for Jack County to the south. It's right over downtown Jacksboro, so you need to be in shelter there. You need to be in shelter in Bowie, Fruitland, Sunset. These areas need to be in shelter. These are very impressive supercells. Let's see if we can share this. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're sending out a notification here to alert our followers to tune into this live weather coverage. And folks, let's go back to this radar product here real quick. We need to be watching these, like I said, very carefully. Let's go back to our tornado detection tool, or actually, let's go back to our rotation tracker. And boy, these are still very strong. If you're in Jacksboro and there was not a tornado already, tornado was imminent near the Jacksboro area. Let's zoom back into this. If you're in Jacksboro, like I said, tornado is basically imminent because this is a very strong signature that we are looking at right here. Let's actually go to our debris detector. And right now, it's not showing anything, but that could change here momentarily. That is a very impressive hook. Okay, so we have that one up there. Let's move to the one in Montague County. And if you're in Bowie, Fruitland, and Sunset, you need to be in shelter immediately. In fact, kind of surprised the National Weather Service is now extending they're now expanding the tornado watch to include Jack and Wise counties in effect until 11 p.m. So the tornado watch has just now included these counties to the south, where we have this one tornado going through. And I want to boot up the models here real quick and show you what the next couple of hours could look like. We'll bounce to that here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and boot that up and load it. But we have to continue to keep an eye on these storms because, like I said, folks, these are very, very concerning supercells. You don't typically see signatures like that. And again, I don't say these things to scare anyone. You don't typically see these hooks, especially because we're looking quite a ways away from the radar. So if you're in Bowie, Fruitland, Sunset, and Jacksboro, you need to be in shelter immediately. Especially this one to the south looks very concerning. We're almost approaching the yellow colors here in the middle where it's starting to become more bright green. And then we'll go up to the north. This tornado to the north, if it is occurring, would be crossing Highway 81 here in the next 5 minutes, moving into Fruitland and Sunset. It would then be approaching Highway 101, and this would be moving, I believe it's to the northeast at 15 miles an hour. So you have 5 minutes if you're in Fruitland before this thing starts to be knocking on your door. And then this one is just riding to the south of Highway 59. So it's basically riding 59 up to the northeast. This one is also moving slightly faster. That one's around 20 miles an hour. So we need to be keeping a very close eye on these. These are very dangerous storms. And it wouldn't surprise me if we don't have a confirmed tornado with these shortly, just because a tornado is imminent with both of these. These just have that look, folks. You need to be watching these very, very carefully if you're in either location. Let's go back to this model here real quick, and I'll load this up. This is showing basically in the next hour, and I think that this is just about an hour behind. So we're going to go back to this one and show you the next couple of hours. Here's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and notice they're not going away. There's additional development further to the south of where these are sitting, and notice we're continuing to see cells closer to the Metroplex. So we need to be watching these very carefully, just because there are going to be additional storms over the next couple of hours, and the models have been doing a terrible job with these. It wasn't showing these until basically the last couple of hours, but we were going with our gut instinct here and showing you what we were thinking was going to happen, and it turns out that looks like what's happening. So we have 2 potential tornadoes, and it actually would not surprise me if we see an additional warning here issued for Jack County, just because this rotation is not moving very fast, but it's approaching the outer edge of that warning box. And let's go back to our velocity, and that rotation to the north in Montague County looks like it is just right over Highway 81 to the immediate west of Fruitland. So if you're in Fruitland, you need to be in shelter immediately. There's that rotation right there. This is where the computer is putting together where the rotation is occurring and giving us just kind of a spot of where it's located. And that would be immediately to, I believe that's 1 or 2 miles to the southwest of the immediate Fruitland area. So that's what we're looking at right here. And let's go back here west of the immediate. So let's zoom out. And one thing for this one to the north I want to mention here real quick. Tornado is still imminent, but notice it's not as mean looking as it was just a little bit ago. It almost looks like it's occluded some. But back here, just a couple of minutes ago, this is when it was looking more concerning. And notice how it's not as defined. It's occluding, but we're going to have to be watching that, because that means that these are cycling. Every now and then, excuse me, every now and then you'll get these storms. They will kind of wrap up into itself, and then you will start to see a new area of rotation forming. So we're going to be watching this one. There could still be a tornado threat with this, but it's not as significant as it was looking just a little bit ago. But immediately in Fruitland, this is over Highway 81, and just to the west of Highway 101, that's where that rotation would be occurring. Let's go back to the south here. This potential tornado is just close to the outside of the warning for Jack County, so it's approaching the outer skirts of it. We need to be watching this one, because this one is also one's also kind of wrapping up in itself, just because there's this storm to the south. We're going to be watching this because there's a new area further to the south. This could develop into something too, so we have to be watching this one. But this hook area is still rather impressive. I do want to go to check out, let's see, there's a rotation tracker, and here's a look at our our velocity tool. That rotation, and I do want to boot up the other model or the other radar here real quick. Let's go back to this, and I'm going to load up and show some roads here just so people know exactly where this is located if they live in these communities. So we're going to zoom in here and we have a live scan coming in here in just a second. We're going to go to this product here, and we're going to go to our velocity product, and show you that rotation right now would be located. It's more of a rural area, but we are seeing, let's get some roads on here. That would be located, I don't know why it is not loading. Our road tool, let's see if we can get it. Okay, so we're gonna have to check back on that here in just a second. I'm not quite sure why that is not loading. I apologize for that. We're gonna try one more time here, see if we can get any roads to. Okay, so this is just to the west of McClure Road. If we can get any more of these to pop up, that would be okay. This is approaching Coca-Cola Ranch Road, and let's see. In fact, it is just to the west of Coca-Cola Ranch Road. So that's where we're going to be watching this here. Let's go to our... let's actually take a look at the... I apologize if we're bouncing all over the place, folks. We are trying to kind of look at reports and everything all at the same time here. Let's go back and... let's go back to the one to the north here real quick. And let's go back to the other product, actually. And I want to show you, we do have some strong rotation back to the one to the south. And we have a new tornado warning, and this is for Jack County. And I agree with the National Weather Service on this one. This one is still rather impressive. I do want to go to our rotation tracker and just show you, it is just a couple miles to the south of Cundiff and a couple miles to the northeast of Jacksboro. And this rotation is going to be putting it basically into Wise County here within the next hour if it holds together. So this warning goes in effect until 8 o'clock. And again, this is for Jack County. So we're going to be sending out another notification here real quick. We have tornadoes in the area. So if you're just now tuning in and you're wondering what is happening, we have a tornado warning for Jack County. We have another one for Montague County. And we're bouncing back and forth between the two, trying to bring you the latest information with some of our exclusive tools. And I do want to take a look one more time. Let's go back to this. So the alert was just sent out on the app, and I tell you, this one is continuing to be the strongest one. We may have had a potential tornado just to the north in the Montague County storm, and I do want to show you here real quick. We'll put into motion. Notice how that rotation moved almost directly north when it was near Fruitland. And we'll go back to the velocity product, and you'll be able to see it here. It moved, it kind of wobbled to the north just a little bit. And typically when you see that, that's indicative of the rear flank downdraft basically pulling it up to the north as it's occluding. So there could have been one further to the southwest near Fruitland or to the southwest of Fruitland here shortly. That's going to be interesting to see if we actually get anything out of that. But this one in Jacksboro, I tell you what, that hook is coming back to life here. And we're still seeing some strong rotation occurring with this storm. And we need to be keeping a very close eye out on that one. Let's take a look at our velocity. And man, oh man, that is still quite strong right there with that storm. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on that. I'm going to put a new time of arrival track with this one on the other product. And see, this is moving northeast at around 20. So let's put that. Let's put it at about 25 just so we can get all the times and all the communities included. So let's go back to the time of arrival here. This would put it at 7:57 pretty much near the community of Chico, and this is around 25 miles an hour. So we're watching this one. So this is not in the warned area here in Wise County, but this is just a quick heads up. If you live in these communities, this storm very well may hold together, and if that's the case, that's going to move in to these areas here shortly. So we need to be keeping a very close eye on this. So like I said, stay tuned with that. Let's go back. And the problem with this right now is, let's go back. We don't have any sort of severe thunderstorm warnings for our area. And we don't typically see this kind of situation where we only have tornado warnings in the area. Like I said, if you're tuning into our live update earlier, we said that this looked pretty concerning for the risk of severe weather near the Metroplex this evening, because the models were basically pulling all that severe weather that was supposed to be in the Oklahoma City area further to the south. And pretty much right now we have two nasty supercells, one in Montague County, and the other is in Jack County. And there's two distinct area of rotations, as you can see here. One is right over Fruitland, and these aren't moving very fast. So if you're in Fruitland, you need to be remaining in shelter, just because this is potentially coming back around if it's already not producing. This is most likely recycling. And the other area of rotation is just south of the community of Cundiff and just to the southwest of Highway 59. So basically, if you're in Chico, if you're in Lake Bridgeport, Alvarado, get ready, because this might eventually move into your areas if it holds together. And this one up to the north, again, is pretty concerning. It's not as mean looking with that hook that we saw earlier, but it is still rotating pretty good. And I think, let's go here. And I'm going to do something to the radar here real quick just so we can see. Let's go back to our rotation tracker. And right now, fortunately, this one remains mainly over rural areas of Jack County, just to the east-northeast of downtown Jacksboro. But this one near Fruitland, this one is still basically right over Fruitland, and this one we're going to have to be watching very carefully. So that is potentially an area of rotation over Fruitland. Let's go to our tornado detection tool. And right now, not seeing anything. That doesn't mean that there is not a tornado occurring. This is when the computer puts together that there is debris occurring. So fortunately, it's not detecting anything. But I tell you what, these two are very, very imminent for producing a tornado. And that one is very concerning near the community of, or south of the community of Cundiff, moving towards Bridgeport here momentarily. We're going to go back up to the north. And that one is pretty concerning. So real quick, we are going to try and boot up the live weather channel. We were going out of town here, so we kind of turned off the main system. So we're going to boot that back up here real quick and go back live with it. So stay tuned for more updates here in just a moment.